Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new Warhammer 40k painting video. Now as per usual, if you like these videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys and it goes an absolute massive way to help the channel too. Now, in this video I'm going to go through how I painted up the Space Marine Assault Intercessors that we got with issue 3 of IMPERIUM magazine. Now, before we start though, I do have to make a slight confession. I had to modify the shoulder pads ever so slightly because they have the Ultramarines logo on there and I don't want that icon on there as I'm painting up the Sons of Medusa. And so yes, there is a little bit of flat spotting going on them shoulder pads, so it does look a bit deformed. But once our paint job was done, it's not that noticeable, so it's not too bad. But without further ado, let's crack on with it. So, as per usual, I started off with Mechanica Standard Grey as a base coat, and then I've gone over it with Army Painter's Green Skin paint, which is quite a nice emeraldy green, and then I'm layering over with Collier Green Shade, which is fantastic for getting into all them recesses and darkening up certain areas of the mini, which works very, very handily for what I wanted to do with it. Then once that was dry, it was time to layer back over with the green skin paint from Army Painter. So, green skin paint from Army Painter, well, all paints from Army Painter I find tend to be a little bit thinner than the good old Citadel paints. So, several coats of this do go on, even though they are being slightly thinned down, with a drop of water as well on the palette that I'm using. And yeah, it works pretty well though. It kind of gets a nice green area and it does work quite flat, as you can see. Now, I decided to paint the helmet straight away, so I've gone over with a Corax White, which Corax White of course being a white pigment, so it's very, very heavy. So make sure you're thinning it down if you are using Corax White on any part of your mini, because it can be an absolute pain and you are going to need to shake it very, 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 very well to get a good flat tone out of it as well. And then I'm layering over with the Bad and Black over the black areas, so certain parts of the boots, the shoulder pads, the part of the backpack that they're carrying as well. So certain areas needed to be a Bad and Black, and in between all the armour as well, the kind of the fabricy joints of the power armour for the Space Marines wear. And then it's time to start going over things like the metal work as well, because I'll need to use some Nuln Oil later on. So going over with Iron Breaker over part of the chainsword and of the bolter that he's carrying, and certain little areas as well on the mini to kind of get the rivets and joints a bit more metallic looking. And then painting over the holster itself as well with Mournfang Brown, which is a fantastic kind of leathery look armour as well, where you can kind of paint where you can kind of get it going with that. Looks very, very nicely, especially when you shade it as well, because you will need to shade it and get it looking very dapper indeed. Then once that was all done, I layered over with good old Nuln Oil, and I kind of layered back over with certain areas as well. Now, as you can see, what I'm doing here is I am edge highlighting certain parts of the power armor itself using Auric Flesh, that new paint that came out when Dominion came out, and it is a very, very nice kind of brighter green colour, which works very, very nice for the edge highlights for this Space Marine army that I'm painting up. Now, other little details I've added on, of course, I've used Retributor armour for a gold colour on the pommel of the chainsword itself and on the buckle of his belt. Over the Aquila on the chest, I have used good old Mechanica Standard Grey to edge highlight slight areas as well to make it look very, very neat, and kind of highlight certain areas as well. The helmet also as well, because it's a fully white helmet, I used Apothecary White over the top, which is contrast paint, and then back over the top with Corax white back again, and then a bit of good old corn red and Mephiston red for the eye sockets of the helmet, and it kind of makes the helmet look really, really good. So I quite like this mini. I think it looks very, very well, it looks very good, and it does exactly the job that I needed it to now that it's all complete. And as you can see, all three brothers are fully completed as well, and they are definitely ready for a good bit of fighting as well. Right, that's it from this one. A very, very quick video. The next Imperium painting video will be coming this week as well. The Imperium magazine video won't be until the weekend due to me being away, but thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye bye now.